Hey, welcome back. This is Ray with Ray's Engines. This is part 3 with AC. We're going to install the last hoses. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I do these pretty often on building engines, transmissions, air conditioners, pro chargers like this one, and so on. I do these videos for you so you can learn how to do an extra trade and know how to do mechanic work and engine building and hot rods and stuff like that. So you can learn a different skill set and make extra income. So this one is part 3 of the air conditioner. All we're going to do is install the low pressure side from the air conditioner all the way back to the AC unit inside. And then we're going to install the dryer hose from here, from the engine bay all the way to the inside. I've already crimp these hoses. If you haven't seen this done, go back to part 2. I'll show you how to crimp these hoses. And again, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video with others as well. So we're going to get started. This is going to be part 3, and then we're going to do part 4. Part 4, all we're going to do is add Freon, and that's it. Because this one we're going to be finished with this one. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. As I said before, you always want to lubricate the O-ring before you install it. And this one we're going to do is we're going to go underneath this hose here. And we're just going to, just like that. Yes, my hands got my gloves have so much WD-40 on them. And you always want the fitting on top, that way you can charge it, which we'll be charging it on the 4th video, the last video of it. There it is. So now we're going to run this one straight to the top one because it's going on the top. Did make it a little tight for that fitting. The hose goes in easily. And no, it's not going to cut the hose because I've made it real smooth. So now we're going to go ahead and put the dryer on. Dryer hose. So dryer hose, it's pretty simple. Same one is crimped. You do have 2 options of putting a clamp on it, which I decided to go with the crimp because it's a cleaner look. And if you looked on part 2, you would see that there is the switch for it. I will be cleaning this up. I will be putting clamps for it to be on the fender well. But this is just so you can see how to install it yourself. And then this one we just have to twist a little to get the fitting in there. In fact, I don't like that, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out right quick. I want to go underneath this other hose. I want to go underneath this one. That way it does that, just like that. And what I'll do is I'll clamp these on the fender well. And then go ahead and move this wire, as I do have all the electrical ready as well to show you. And these do come marked. For instance, this is battery, and my battery is here because my battery is in the trunk. So I have all my wiring right here, as you can see. So this one's already here. So I'm gonna go inside, and if you want to come over around here, you can see the. So you can see the already installed. I didn't think I needed to show you how to install this part here. It might be a little dark, so let me go around and grab a light. As you can see, this one's, I kind of don't like this part here. I may change that up. But this is the air conditioner I went with because it's just the least expensive one. So I just went this route for right now. I may change it up and put the air conditioner in here, the vents. But we'll see how this one works. As you can see, it's already mounted. I may change this up. I know I'm going to change this up. I don't like the way it looks. Here's your switch for your air, the speed. This is your temperature. You want it cold or hot, because it does have heater as well. And of course, here's your wiring. This is for the evaporator. This goes in here, connects to this green wire, which is this green wire here. There is a red wire on this one that goes to the ignition switch. I already found a hot wire underneath the fuse box, so I'm going to connect that. When it's only the key is turned, that's when you want it on. So let me go ahead and just put these hoses on, and we'll go ahead and start with the wiring. Your first hose, which is the top hose, will be for there it is. Yeah, this is the little tough part because it's hard to work underneath the. And I'm going to clamp this hose on the firewall on the inside so to get out of the way of the passenger. And if you haven't seen the second video on how to measure and cut, you might want to go back and look at that. There it is. Okay, and here's the one from the dryer. And we'll turn that to go in. Move this wire. I know you probably see the AC moving around. I'm still gonna go ahead and get the tighten with the brackets on it. This one's not liking this. I'm gonna twist it around like this. Go ahead and tighten it up, and then I'll move it around where it needs to go. I'll fix that one here a little bit and see where I need to put it. I'm gonna put it back this way. Let's go ahead and get the wiring done. So as you can see, this one is marked for the evaporator. That evaporator will be this one here. So I'm gonna kind of move this one back here to where it doesn't. And then I'll hook this up underneath the dash to hide it. So it goes to this green wire and just connects just like that. And then you run the plastic over it so it doesn't touch anything. And there you go. That's that for this one. This wire down here, it's the red wire. You probably can't see that. That's fine. It goes all the way down, and I'm going to put it to a fuse that goes just to the ignition switch. So in other words, it's only hot whenever I turn the ignition. So let's go ahead and get it in the front. And let's go ahead and connect our wiring in the front. So as you can see, this is for the fan up front. This is for the air conditioner. So, and here's the wire for the compressor. It's marked compressor. It's already set up. So as you can see, here's your compressor, one wire to the compressor. It connects just like that. And there's your compressor. Of course, as I said, I'm going to get zip ties and connect all this together. And then you have, this is your dryer. If you remember, we put our dryer on this side, on the inside. And I'm just going to run this wire down here to the side. And it's going to connect right to the side of the switch. The dryer switch. If you can see right here, here's the dryer switch. That's where it's connecting the dryer switch. So that's that. We have the compressor. So now we need the electric fan. So here's your fan. It is marked fan. And the reason why you want to use this one and not your own, because anytime you turn on the switch for the air conditioner, it's going to turn on your fan. You need your fan running for it to flow for the condenser, for it to run for the Freon. So to cool your Freon. I already have my wire down here for the fan, which I run it down through on the bottom, which is from the fan all the way to the bottom, and it runs to that hole on the bottom, at the very bottom, and that's where I have my wire coming out. And there's that. So that's for your fan. You can do it however you want to do it. And that's just the way I did it. So now here we go. Here's my switch. This is my switch down here. This is my this is what came with it, all the wiring. It's all from here. I went ahead and mounted it to the firewall. I did put a ground because it does come with the ground. Ground's already done. And here's a fuse, and this one's for the battery. As you can see, it has battery on it. So this one needs to be hot at all times. This is my battery. It's hot at all times. The only reason it's not hot right now is because I took it off at the very back from the trunk. So all I have to do is take this off. And this will be the last step, except for the switch that I explained to you that's going to go to the fuse box, which is the ignition. That it's only hot when the ignition switch is turned over. So it only runs when the car is running. This one here is always running. This one's always hot. So I'm gonna get zip ties. I'm gonna tie all this together. And of course I wanna have access to my fuse in case it ever blows. So I'll just put it here as well. Everything's gonna be tucked in here. And then I'll get hose clamps to put the hoses on the firewall. This will look a little neater here on the next step, but I don't want to show you. I don't want to show you going through all that. That's something you know you can do on your own. I just wanted to show you how the AC, how you connect everything. As you can see, it's fairly simple. It's just time consuming. Reason I say time consuming, for instance, the brackets on the fan, on the condenser. They don't want you to run. You know how you run a zip tie through the fan, but it's not actual zip tie. I can't remember what it's called. But you run it through the fan, through these brackets, and it goes through the radiator, they don't want you to do that with the condenser because you can damage the condenser. So that's why you're going to have to make brackets. That's why they make these holes, so you can mount your fan and so you can mount the condenser to the radiator. So there you go. Those are all the steps. All I have to do is put that one wire for the switch, and then it is ready to add Freon to it. I do have to do one more step now that I remember, and it's the drainage. It does need to drain. It accumulates water, so it does need to drain. Let me show you that right quick. If you follow, oh, in fact, if you just stay there, I'll bring it to you. So this is just a hose, and this hose, there's a small valve that almost looks just similar to that. That valve is inside the accumulator itself, the whole air conditioner unit, and that's at the bottom just like this. So all you're going to do is connect this hose to that little valve that's on the bottom, and you're going to run this outside. So all you need is to make a small enough hole for this hose to fit in your floorboard so to drain out. If you already have a hose, say for instance in your firewall to where your steering column comes out, you can run this hose out there and then put a small clamp. That way it faces down and not towards your engine bay. That way you don't have to make a hole. In fact, that's what I'm going to do because there is already where the steering column is. I'm just going to run this through there, and then I'm going to put a clamp for it to clamp against the firewall. That way I don't have to drill any holes on my floorboard. That way, that's cleaner look. Hopefully all these steps did help. Hopefully it was a good process for you to see how everything works. I just didn't want to go through another step of showing you clamping the hose because I already showed you in step 2. So if you stay tuned, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I'm going to connect that switch, and then it'll be ready to fire up, and we're going to go ahead and add Freon. I'll do a video for the Freon if you want to see how to install Freon on a car. You don't want to put liquid in it, so I'll make sure you understand that. No liquid in it, and I'll show you on that one. So again, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you're alerted. Hit the bell button. That way you're alerted for the future videos that I do. We'll see you on the next video, and thanks for watching.